So here comes the processor. It's an Intel Core i7-6700K, overclocks to about 4.5 GHz, which is really cool. It's 4 cores, 8 threads. That was the stock Intel cooler, by the way, that was putting back in the box. We're not going to use that because it's okay if you never intend to overdrive the processor or overclock it at all. But if you are going to overclock it, you need something that provides a bit better cooling than that. So that's what we've gone for. There goes the processor into the socket. And I'm just going to put the stock cooler away, and the plastic insert. Always worth keeping those handy in case you have to return anything for RMA purposes or refunds or whatever. So next stage, power supply. 24 pin for the main motherboard power supply going in there, and the 8 pin that goes along the top of the motherboard that powers the CPU. RAM sticks, as you can probably see, I've already got put in. So just reseating the 24 pin, making sure that's okay. Right, we're onto the cooler now. This is a Dark Rock 3 from Be Quiet. It's a large radiator cooler, has one stock fan put on the front. It's an air cooler, it's not water cooled. There's the back plate, there's the Z170 or Z170 back plate that sits on the back. You have to manually put those on. If you have the enthusiast level motherboards like LGA 2011, they have a backplane already installed. But Z170, Z270, any of the mainstream processor lines, you have to put that on yourself. Okay, now I'm just fixing the brackets onto the base of the cooler for the Intel type socket. If you have an AMD processor, the brackets are different. So you have to be quite sure about which type of processor you're applying the various brackets for. In this case, they just screw to the base for the CPU cooler plate. Right, now a little bit of thermal paste. Always worth having. I go for the dot method usually. And I put a little bit too much, so I'm just going to tidy it up just a little bit. Turn it into a fairly nice round dot. There you go. About the size of half your little fingernail. It's probably a good size. Okay, just taking the RAM out so I can install the cooler. Make sure the clearance is there for the fan, and it's there. So now I'm just, on this particular type of cooler, the fixings are bolts, and they supply you with a little spanner. So I'm just going corner to corner, opposite corner, making sure that the pressure is applied nice and evenly, so that the thermal paste is spread as evenly as possible across the top of the processor when the cooler is applied. Okay, RAM going back in now. There you go, that's good. CPU fan power being plugged into the motherboard. Putting away the instructions. Always a good idea to read instructions if you're unfamiliar with the cooler. There goes the 24-pin power and the 8-pin power again. Graphics card now. This is an MSI GTX960 2GB version. Keyboard and mouse. And there's the power from the power supply going into the top of the graphics card. Turning on the power. And hoping everything boots up. And yes, thumbs up. We're into the BIOS. So there you go. All checked. Checking through some of the settings, making sure everything's there, and a big thumbs up at the end.